Alright, hello, and welcome back to Disco Elysium. I was about to talk to Everard again. Rhetoric. Yes, of course. Now we're on the right track. Inhale. It smells like... Perception smell. We're getting crates and pallets, calling to mind vast stands of winter pines. A swirl of ancient odors, absorbed by heavy carpet fibers, but also a pervasive Traxley sweetness that somehow reminds you of cola nuts. The whole place could probably use a good deep cleaning, you think?
Well, smelling much communism around the Union boss's office?
Hush, Kim, I'm detecting. Meanwhile, Everett Clare clatters away on his typewriter, willfully indifferent to your presence.
Mr. Dubois, every worker...
A member of the board, let's see. He leans towards you, waiting for you to complete his sentence. A member of the board is a living god, is an organ in the great state organism of war, also, just like me, for himself. A member of the board?
That's right, Mr. Dubois. I see the socialist democratic fervor now burns in your heart, too. How can I help you today?
I'm looking for a cell of underground communists. Can you help me? Remember the container I asked you about? Turns out there's a mega-rich light-bending guy inside. Oh, what is it? Okay. Okay. It's done. I mailed the signatures you asked me to mail. Can we go over a few more details concerning the murder again? Let's see. It's done.
The Golden Boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun, nothing is off the table.
Oh, hello there, Vio. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Just started here. Yeah, Twitch is being weird. I hit the live button, but I didn't get any of the usual stuff that pops up when you go live. I don't know why. Did you happen to get the, did you happen to see, like, the going live message or anything? Because my whole thing is just blank. No, okay. I don't know what's wrong with it. Oh well. Oh, okay. Well, you wouldn't have got it anyway, so it's... Yeah, usually when you hit the live thing, there's like the thing in the chat that pops up that like says all of the chat information and like the starting stuff, but that didn't pop up for me. And I didn't get the usual thing on my phone that's like, you can control the thing on your phone. I was worried it was broken, but you're here, so at least I know it's kind of working. Oh, well, there you go. What was I doing? Suggestion. Hear that. You did it the honest way. You got the real signatures. And how he's happy. Well done. Interfacing. I don't know, your dirty forgery fingers aren't sure if playing this one straight was the right thing to do. Yeah, for me it's midnight. Drama. We would have preferred trickery, but the choice was yours, sire, as always. You are the liege, and you're in. Physical instrument, finally, answers. Ask away, son. What was the fine print on the document I mailed? What was the catch? Did you order the hanged man killed? Can I get my gun now? What was the catch?
There's no fine print, Harry. But I do hope all that construction noise and limited street access encourages some people to move. After a year of that ruckus, who wouldn't?
Perception hearing. Oops. Yes, the noise would do the trick. It'll be terrible.
And when they do, they will have a good place to go. I'm currently working on renovating the buildings near the roundabout into affordable workers' palaces.
Composure. He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
So the village is doomed.
The lieutenant says grimly.
You were there. You saw the place. A wasteland. There's nothing left. But mark my words, officers. We are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez. And they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth centre supermarket church complex. Employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Youth supermarket church complex. Do you really expect me to believe that? Low-income housing. If even part of this is true, then why not? And life. Nod. I knew you were the man of the people, Everard.
Yes, I do. I got the centre, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
Kuno can run this. Run Martinez. Empathy. There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain. Pain threshold. The pain is true. He's seen the kids do worse than that. Wait, but will you erect a statue to yourself? Joyce was right when she said you were up to something. Sounds like you got this. You can rely on my vote.
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in a zone hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
Authority. You would look nice as a statue. Joyce was right, or sounds like you got this. Oh no, it's one of these choices. Side with the libertarian, or go with this guy. Oh no.
Oh, I do, Harry. I really do. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier with that boat of yours. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
Half-Light, a true flash of anger in him, as he thinks of her. Did you order the hanged man killed?
I did not, Harry. Although I am very, very glad he's dead.
What do you gain from him being dead?
Why, a war, of course.
And what do you have to gain from a war?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men, or even 50 men.
Accidentally hit X. They're trained military people. Aren't you afraid for your men?
The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste.
We need a war. How is this connected to the strike?
Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we won't do that. We're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates, the containers, that big crane, even the damn coffee maker. We're going to take all of it for the people, and fuck Wild Pines.
Perception hearing. The word fucks rings like a gunshot from his mouth. He doesn't swear often.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance.
What? Why are you telling me your plans? Well, he's a villain. The villain always has to reveal their evil plot.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. We have a significant head start. It's already happening.
How many of you guys are there in the Union?
2,372. Plus yours truly, of course.
Logic. 2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor organization in Revachol. Authority. And they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen. How are you going to found your new independent harbor?
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The clients will ditch us. Harry, we've thought of everything.
Logic. Clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day. You can't possibly hope to continue like you have clients will leave en masse. Everything?
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez and to the new competitive contracts we can offer. With renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how fast things go without parasites latching on. We'll have our hands free to pursue bold, exotic new revenue streams.
Reaction speed. That's drugs.
Drug trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samaran Isola. You don't need to be colonialist about it. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities.
That's just the top of the that's just the top of the iceberg, though, isn't it? God, that sounds shady. Digging it, Everard. I have to say, I'm digging this part.
The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his Benefed, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperazole.
Encyclopedia. Benefed is children's cold medicine, usually apricot flavored, and risperazole is used to treat severe psychosis. Yeah, there are no heroes in this story.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidon.
Except us. We're the good guys. Kind of. Yes, pretty much. And the kids on the street can get speed.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned.
He smiles.
But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez.
Encyclopedia. He's basically admitting to it. Drugs are a no-go for me. I'll report this. I have to admit, that's a well-put-together plan, and far removed from you. Interesting stuff. I just want to solve this murder, okay? Makes sense to regulate the drug trade like this. Keeps it out of the more dangerous hands. I just want to solve the murder.
You know why you're such a good detective, Harry? You don't get sidetracked. You care about the people you're supposed to protect, not some systems that may or may not be unethical. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbour's turnover, just like the harbour is, but a small part of Martinez.
It should be illegal. So is there a trade or isn't there? Go on. Say nothing.
Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who want to start businesses. Models who want to walk catwalks and steel welders who want to weld steel. I'm going to unite them all into one economic body. We're going to incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone's going to be in on the wealth, and everyone's going to pull their weight.
I got a point. Let's see. Oh, I have 2 points, actually. Let's see. What should I put stuff into? I see. Island Empire. Composure? What's my composure? Might need a 6. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it'd be like those big, the big flying eyeball ones that are just like the... You know what I'm talking about? I haven't played Doom in a long time. I played the 2016 one. Mancubus. Ah, okay. I played some of the 2016 one. I don't think I finished it, though. The Glob Monster, yeah. Volition. Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it. Oh, hello there, Faye. How are you? Yeah, the glob monster. This guy, Everard. Let's see, hold on. I don't want to look at the big picture. I want to look at the drug trade you almost admitted to. Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporate in it, then I like it. I'm a money guy. That's very ambitious. I love what you're doing for the working man. I'm not feeling the whole lot of Revachol here. Not enough flags or kings. Honestly, it's not my place to judge or express an opinion. Ah, yes, the moralist option. Hold on.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and insignificant slice of revenue, I'm cutting it. Boys, Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering?
Well, I mean, if it has the word incorporate, oh, it's the same. Very ambitious. Not feeling a lot of Revachol here. When it gives you all these options, you don't have much of a choice. You either get the moralist, the fascist, the socialist, or the libertarian.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you. You have no idea how much it
when you
means
have to pick a
because
side.
In many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work.
Can I ask you about specific union members?
We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the future of Revachol here, Harry. You can bother Leonard with that. He loves to run his mouth on such matters. But I'm in big-time mode, Harry.
Composure. There's something different about him now. He's more vibrant, more alive in his big-time mode. Can I get my gun now?
Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. But it had to be done.
You bastard. Fine, where is it?
Your gun is with an old woman. I hear she's a character, so watch out.
Logic. This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as terrifying. So the gun's still with the woman who bought it from Roy.
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway.
Suggestion. Union boys are gonna help you fix it. He winks at you. Don't worry, Harry.
The neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Half-light. Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does. She was waving it around at people. Who is this old woman? Can you set up a meeting?
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous can she possibly be? Oh, and she calls herself the Pigs.
Island Empire. There it is again. The pigs, like Roy said. Not good at all.
I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
A smile flickers in the corner of his mouth. Esprit de corps. It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction. Just waving it around?
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for details. It sounds like she's unstable, but don't worry. No one got hurt.
Can you set up a meeting?
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did ask for this. Now, back to the fun stuff.
He claps his hands. Island Empire. She will be there. From 2200 to 2 a.m.
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
That's it for now.
Great, Harry, great. I think we have truly built a bridge between Martinez and Jamrock today. We have united the RCM and the Debarders Union.
Suddenly there's a sadness in his tone.
This has been so great. I'm sorry we don't have more fun things to do together, but if you ever feel like bouncing something off me, my door is always open.
Let's see, I'm looking for a cell of underground communists. Can you help me?
Mr. Dubois, really? Do I look like a man who has time for underground communists? I'm as above ground as it gets.
Logic. That's a non sequitur, if you've ever heard one. Let's drop the funny stuff. I'm trying to make contact with my revolutionary brethren.
Sure thing, Harry. We're all business now. The answer is still no. I'm a busy man, as you can see. I don't block off time on my schedule for underground types.
Drama. That note of contempt in his voice is sincere, sire.
You've already spoken with Manana, as I understand. I'm afraid I don't have anything else for you on this subject.
Rhetoric. That's all you're going to get out of him, it appears.
Now, was there anything else you wish to discuss today?
Remember that container I asked you about? Turns out there's a mega-rich light-bending guy inside.
Mega-rich light-bending guy? Oh my god. How did that get in there?
He's so rich, he could get in anywhere. Slime like him must have oozed in through the cracks. He must have been in that container when someone accidentally closed the door. I don't know how he got in there. He could get in anywhere.
Damn it to hell, Harry. I specifically told my guys to check all the containers for mega-rich light-bending guys.
Nothing can stop an innovative mind. I think he wants to take down the proletariat, Everett. Kim, tell him he was there. You know, some of him may have been a figment of my imagination.
Honestly, Harry, we might be moving a spot of drugs through this harbour, but I won't be caught transporting the light-bending mega-rich. I have a reputation to protect.
Yes, for God's sake, you're a socialist. The mega-rich are people too. He was a nice man. Gave me stock tips. Yes, the transportation of the mega-rich should be more tightly regulated. It didn't seem like he was safe. You should be honored by the presence of his magus. He was of half-Revacholian blood, and amassed his wealth using the mysterious bond of nationhood. Tightly regulated.
You're a fucking idiot, Harry. I love it. Thank you for sharing this deep, idiotic part of yourself with me. A hallucinating market liberal. I love it. So poetic. I shudder to think what you're going to tell me next, Harry.
A drama. Not for 1 second did he believe there's an actual mega-rich and light-bending person somewhere in his container town. For more questions about the harbor, let's see. The murder again,
Most
I think we have some.
certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you.
There was a bullet in the hanged man's head.
So they shot him.
He sounds pleasantly surprised.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
Drama. It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my two little policemen. Godspeed, policeman.
Let's change the subject.
Harry, what's on your mind?
That's all. Let's see, I have $161. So that's pretty good. Oh. I might as well go in here and turn in my tar. Wow, 20 cents. Let's see, I need to talk to Classia about the door gunner tape. This room has sad all over it. Reminds you of your own. You feel someone watching you behind the glass door. A woman.
Hello, officer. What brings you up here again?
Titus Hardy gave us the recording on the deceased status intentions. She puts her coffee cup down. With a soft ring, as the porcelain meets the middle table. This does not surprise her.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
Rhetoric. She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused. On the tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line.
She picks the cup back up. Electrochemistry. A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant.
Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Cohoy style?
Yes, the word whore was used. Cohoy was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Cohoy. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Machoism? Machismo. Do you think he was trying to scare people?
No. I'm pretty sure he did all those things. And then had to internalize them to keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Coping mechanism? Catchphrase? Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Khohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezud all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
Were you afraid? You like this kind of stuff. You spent time with this person romantically.
We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Khohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
Suggestion. There's a small measure of pride in her that she could quell the rage as such a being. Let's see. Logic. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now.
Now tell us about the victim.
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start.
The lieutenant writes it down in his notebook.
We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passes to you. On it is a list of the autopsy observations, recorded neatly in blue ink. Island Empire, the last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh. Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there.
Encyclopedia. The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Look at Klassia. You were both from Oran. Let's see. Look at the autopsy paper. Moving on.
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrek. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
Electrochemistry. Sex. Alcohol. Speed. Probably also. Sildenafil. Rhetoric. No love for Mother Orion. But wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing. A military man, but not a patriot. No, not to get political.
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. A small platoon leader. Certainly not a patriot.
You don't seem to like much of a patriot yourself. As an Orionese myself, didn't his lack of patriotism annoy you?
Mm-hmm. There is nothing on Moindi. The old, old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Orania did bring us together, in loathing. I love Revachol, though. I hope she loves me, too.
How old was he?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
The memory makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
We were slightly off then. Thank you for clearing it up.
The lieutenant makes a correction in his notes. Physical instrument, the adversary 1. His eye color.
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
Suggestion. It's clear she liked it. You liked it? It was a map of his service is it a map of his service history? What did it represent, do you know?
Quite a lot, yes. It was a map of his life and the places he visited as a soldier. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks, how so? Thank you. Few more questions.
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Conceptualization. Is this Oranese lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranese lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself.
She leans even further back to demonstrate.
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star. Port after port. Third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this.
Oh, yeah.
She nods. Can you tell us precisely what these mean? Hand her the photo.
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
She pours herself some more coffee.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orania needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands, and on other islands too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Not a very fun story. Good story, thanks. Thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
Could it be love that did him in?
It very well could be, yes.
What do you mean?
What do I mean? I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean?
He told me. Love did him in. Okay, then another question.
That's not funny, officer.
Composure. Her voice is like a slash to the air. Her shoulders tense up. Volition. There. She momentarily lost control over straight-back guy. It appears that she feels guilty. Do you feel guilty?
Of course I do. I'm hungover. I feel guilty about everything.
Do you feel guilty about what happened to him?
Among many other things, yes. I could have done something. There's always something he can do, right? Ask me something else.
Rhetoric. What is this? An interrogation? You didn't tell her this was going to be an interrogation. Perhaps, miss, it was communism that killed him.
A moment ago it was love. And no, I don't think the Union is communist. They're a couple of shades pinker than that. They're not hardcore in that way, is what I'm trying to say. What are we talking about anyway? This politics shit is a lot in the morning. Is it even morning?
Endurance. I think she's just tired. She doesn't know what you mean by that. And can you blame her? Volition. You could blame her a little. It was a pretty straightforward question that she refused to answer. Something miraculous is coming, he told me. The lieutenant blinks. His expression does not change. Esprit de corps. All right, let's see where this is going. From way out in the northwest, he told me. Maybe he was wrong. Forget about it. Nothing miraculous is coming.
Cool.
The woman nods. We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what that will show us?
A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. Barbiturates, amphetamine, sildenafil.
Electrochemistry. Hear that? Sildenafil. Just like you suspected. You have a great nose for this stuff. What is sildenafil? It's for maintaining an erection. Uppers are vasoconstrictors, so that feet becomes problematic. Okay, and why do I know this? Because you're a scientist, of course.
How much does the toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself.
It's quite expensive, miss, but we'll manage without your help for now.
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
The lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Visual calculus. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42? It's what she said, yes. Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity and of mortality, he was 42 years old. Where's this going? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? Reaction speed. You could ask either one of them. Kim, how old do you think I am? Turn around, miss. How old do you think I am? I got this. My age. I think I'm...
Huh?
The lieutenant isn't quite sure He heard you. How old do I look?
How old? 58?
Oh my god, that's really old. Really? What if you're wrong? And we're both wrong about the deceased. He turned out to be 40. You're probably right.
42. And he was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
I feel like I've been decomposing for longer than that. The ravages of Al Ghul are nearly as extreme as that of death itself, Lieutenant Kutsuragi. You're right, I'm probably 62. Let's leave it at that.
On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately.
You're right.
I didn't say 62, I said 58.
He squints, looking at you for a second. Visual calculus. Wait. This requires scientific measurements. Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth. I did what I think about this. I don't want to think about this anymore. Thought gained. Date of birth generator. To the laboratorium. Well, I can't do that because my thought cabinet is full. I'll replace something later. Once I get my next level. Okay, I need to confront the Hardy Boys again.
The clowns are still hanging around. What is it now?
I talked to Khalees about the tape.
And
Nothing. She stands by what... Oh, he tenses immediately. Chest tightens. Jaw sets. Ready for another blow. And nothing. She stands by what she said. I'll get back to you.
that fucking fucker. You're the worst cops in Revachol. I gave you gold on that tape.
A rhetoric. That fucker wasn't aimed at you, it was at her. Gold. It was just locker room talk. It's not evidence. It was dark stuff, but it didn't prove anything. And she didn't change her mind. Yeah, it was bad, honestly. I expected it to have more effect. She pretty much laughed it off, Titus.
Fucking fuckity fucker. And what did she say then? That it's fine. People are supposed to be like that.
It did not come as a surprise to her, and she definitely wasn't scared. Actually, I think it made her a little nostalgic. If anything, she seemed turned on by the whole door gunner thing.
Yes. In fact, I think she thought it was a little funny.
Funny. No good goddamn psycho whore.
Logic. Seems like they wanted to give Classia a second chance to play along. She still didn't.
Alright. All fucking righty then. I guess it's good then. That fucking...
Please try to control yourself in the presence of visitors, Titus.
This is just perfect. Just fucking perfect. Any thoughts on this, lawman?
Bettis rubs his chin with his palm, as if trying to grind it smooth. Physical instrument. Women are crazy, irrational. That's what you're thinking, right? Also, your fists are itching for a bump. I think you had a lie planned, but she didn't play along. You know what I think? Women are crazy, man. Maybe she isn't who you thought she was. Maybe she's still in denial. You know, like a defense mechanism. Be straight with me, Titus. What really happened? Wrap this up. She didn't play along.
I ask for your opinion, not a bedtime story. Tell it to your grandma.
This tape was the last chance for her to do what was planned.
But she didn't. She knows she can't lie to us, unlike you.
Volition. Oh no. He's definitely compromised too. It's his hubris. Sadly, not much to do about it now.
Fantastic. So now you remember how to do your job. I'm so sick of this piss. We should get something harder in here.
Yeah, guys! We should get a party going tonight!
Why?
Maybe not then.
Logic. Success. They admitted to unlawful collaboration to derail the investigation. Maybe she's still in denial. Let's see. Alright, be straight with me.
I already told you. We fucking hanged him.
Empathy. There's less gusto in his voice now. His men too are growing increasingly silent.
Come on, Titus. We know you didn't hang him. He was shot. I know you're tired. So am I. Why don't you just...
You know what? I am tired. I'm tired of you and the whore upstairs. Next time you see her, tell her Titus said, "Fuck off!"
He throws his beer can down. Half-light. This is the petulant rage of someone who's at the end of their wits.
That lying, scamming. We're done. This is over. You understand? Your little investigation is over.
Yeah.
There's a silence in the room. Elaine starts saying something, then thinks best not to. Perception sight. On the floor, beer drips out of the can into a small puddle. No one does anything about it.
What is this quiet funeral shit? All we need is some beers in us. Bartender, 20 beers for the Dock Workers Union.
Why don't we make it 40, huh? Why don't we make it 100 beers? You're not loud enough.
100 beers? Now we're talking. Hoppity hop over here, cafeteria manager.
Electrochemistry. The window might be closing. The more beers they get in them, the less cooperative they will be. I want to talk about the hanging again. Rhetoric. Let's see. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. Success. Rhetoric. Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now, Titus Hardy will never falter. One of his boys will. That's it then. Case closed. Look around. We're going home, Kim. Just remember, it's about more than Classia. It's about these men and Martinez, their district, their responsibility. Shivers. Outside under the rising sun, tattered and in ruins, the windows of the cafeteria aglow with her morning light. That's it, Kim.
Huh?
The lieutenant raises his brow. He'll get it. Go on. Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Because of some chick. Because you're a foreigner. Because you work for the wrong people. Because they like killing.
Goddamn right. This is Union Town. You work for the company, we will kill you.
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company.
Work for the wrong company, and they execute you.
They just hang you. Like in the Dark Ages, make a display of your corpse. They just hang you, shoot you, whatever. They can't even remember. They just hang you, shoot you, light you on fire. They don't care.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. We didn't shoot him.
The fat man says with a wheeze. Rhetoric. That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do. Volition, steel yourself, push on. Just ignore Theo. Turn to Angus, or what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him for no fucking reason. Turn to Theo. What happens if I keep talking? You're gonna kill me too? In this bar for nothing? Look at Kim first.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus!
He was dead before you hanged him?
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
The little guy hits Angus on the back of the head. A loud slap.
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
Composure. Does he? His closed fist is shaking. It's you who's in control. Let him have their moment. The room falls quiet, so quiet you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back. Suggestion. What just happened between these two? Rhetoric. You're in. He's all yours. Questions. I'm sorry I made you guys fight. Whisper, Kim, we did it. So, you didn't kill him. He was already dead. So who killed the man then? The merc then? Any leads? Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers? He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death, the bullet in his head.
Another nod. Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Rhetoric. Girls plural. There's another girl, 2 of them. Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
Empathy. He doesn't think she did, or at least he hopes she didn't. What happened Sunday night?
Classier came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How did you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to you. Endurance. That's okay with the fat man, still wheezing there. He couldn't speak if he wanted to. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
Rhetoric. He means they'd been fucking.
Tibbs patched the window, and the corpse we hanged.
Who's Tibbs, the eighth Hardy?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Empathy. Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess. Ecclesia didn't kill him. Why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
She told me some people were after her from Oran. She wouldn't say more. I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit are we talking about?
Yeah, she wouldn't. She's fucked if she shows up on police radar.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful, connected to the Moral Intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
Drama. That's all he knows. That's all she told him.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the merc, then? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Clausia. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too.
I do. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
Volition. He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Hers?
In a manner of speaking.
Reaction speed. Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one. Earlier you said the girls. Asked for your help. Was this the other girl?
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The missing eighth Hardy. That's the other girl. The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. LeBlond shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy boys. You don't know her, anyway.
You know it's okay for there to be a Hardy girl, Titus. Understood. Can you tell me anything about her? Name, current location? You're going to stonewall me if I ask you more about her, aren't you?
Glad you understand that.
Kim, we did it. The lieutenant gives a smile, only you can see. I'm sorry.
Me too.
Thanks for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go.
Shivers. Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in the frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
She, Clausia, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection.
But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Alright, back to Clausia. Let's see, can I interact with this window yet? Let's see, here. Window is recent. Oh, here we go. Here's something else. Island Empire. You know which window has not been recently replaced? The one I smashed in my room? What is this guilt now? Yes, that one. A cold wind is seeping in right now. Just one floor below you. Messing up your concentration here.
It's always good to see you.
Oh, empathy. Something in her demeanor has changed. See, she's tired, consigned to her fate. To being here with you and what's to come. The Hardy Boys told us what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table. Composure. Just like that. No resistance. Her shoulders are slouched. Her feet long and straight. You don't look surprised. You were expecting this. You sent us on a runaround. You lied to us, miss. Chill. I'm the cool cop, remember?
I'm sorry for wasting your time. I should have known that you'd find out.
Rhetoric. This is good. Clear the air first between you two, then move on to questions. Volition, no. It's not good. It's the opposite of that. This will let her dictate the terms of your rhetoric. Shush. I can't hear what she's saying. Physical instrument. Let the miss speak. She's tall and thin and tired. A twig trying to... so hard not to break.
Why did you waste our time then?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason. Cool, I'm satisfied with this explanation.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette. Reaction speed. Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again. Visual calculus. A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, golden gray in the noon light. What lies beyond it? The Pale, the Mundii Sola, the Occident, and then Oran. The old world. Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern. That's the RCM's... What's the RCM's involvement with this moral intern got to do with this? The RCM isn't the lapdog of the moral intern. You don't have to worry.
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She lights the cigarette. Is this part of why Oran is a bad memory for you? What's going on? What did you do?
I have people after me. And they have friends in the moral intern. Some are moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me.
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Volition. Here we go. For once you seem to have her off guard. Logic, actually. This murder did have a little to do with her. What did you do to have these people after you? What happened here the night he died? Why did you call the cops if you're hiding? When was the window changed?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
She taps on his notebook.
The job was Loosdoen County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Looscop conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
Empathy. But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Looscop and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Encyclopedia. Look, Looscop. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Eriberg, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products. Papalolo. Let's see. I'm sure there are people who have done much worse than that. Serves them right. When I am king, this savings bank will be first against the wall. You're right. This is bad. You've destroyed what people have built. That's a lot of shit you've gotten yourself into. Serves them right.
This was not a joke. Real people lost their jobs. Not just in the C-suite either. Good people. What I did to get to accounting.
Oh, it's going pretty good. We've discovered that, we broke the Hardy Boys down, and they confessed that they lynched the body. Well, they didn't lynch the body, they covered up the body because Classia here, well, he was shot while they were having sex through the window by a sniper rifle. And they covered up the body, or they covered up the murder to protect Classia because she is, well, not just a prostitute, but she is also a, as we're finding out right now, she is a corporate spy. And if she gets involved with the police, the people in the moral intern government will have her killed. So they're protecting her.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
Empathy. That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more. What did you do?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
Rhetoric. She says it quickly, like she said it 100 times to herself, to get used to the idea. Empathy. Out of guilt. That's bad. How do you live with yourself? That's shake your head. Not easy to deal with. Nod. Let's get back to what happened here, okay?
How do you deal with anything? It's all just How do you do it?
I'm a cop. What I do is right. By not remembering a single goddamn thing. I don't either.
That would do the trick, yes.
What happened here the night he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see. I could...
Pain threshold. A great pain moves through her. A dark and identifiable, indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
Then what happened? You don't have to continue if you don't want to.
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, her arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
Perception sight. She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails. Your cigarette, miss. I'm sorry this happened to you. Are you sure you're not making this up? Shake your head. That's a motherfucker. We're going to need more details.
Oh.
She looks at it and quickly tosses the butt aside. I'm sorry this happened to you. Miss, are you sure you're not making this up? Let's see.
So am I.
She immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Reaction speed. Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off. Much more than usual. Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Electrochemistry. Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Empathy. Run, woman, run past them. And out into the street where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersections as far as you can. Why did you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you here now?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Reaction speed. Ruby. Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
She says it as if it's self-evident. I thought Hardy was the leader of the Hardy Boys.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Authority. This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others. Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
Perception sight. To mislead you. They were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Visual calculus. Failure, oops.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, then raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. Then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby. Where's this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
Logic. Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later. Volition. What are you doing? Logic. Coming up with a theory. She said Ruby knew something was wrong before she said anything. How come? It was loud downstairs. She couldn't have heard the shot. Volition. It is ominous. You're already coming up with theories that put the blame on someone other than Niklasia. When it happened, did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
Perception, hearing. The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot. Did you kill Laylee?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
Electrochemistry. All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. Suggestion. It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. Logic. He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun laying around, close to her hand. A military weapon, using jacketed ammunition. Volition. Now, you guys suddenly have theories pouring out. When they're obviously just stabs in the dark. Downstairs, people have this crazy idea that you killed him. It's okay if you did it in self-defense. Desire drives people loco. Drugs are an integral part of the relationship. Perhaps they contributed to its end. They must have had a weapon nearby. Did you use that? Okay, I'd like to... Other questions.
Like
Yeah,
what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone,
She looks at her cigarette.
so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
But maybe it did. It probably didn't. Either way, something to consider.
Or, I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
She looks at the table.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Why'd you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast. Reaction speed. What is an indicator of truth? Logic. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort. So, you would have us believe, but you're not. I don't think so. Why did you do it? I'm not going to disagree with you.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him.
Who knows? Composure. Her jaw is clenched, her throat moves. It takes all her strength not to cave in and sob. Once. Just one time.
He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
Drama. She definitely called the cops. That was task complete. It could not hath been a lie. That is impossible. Volition. Oh God. That was a lie too. Who made the call then? Logic. She did, of course. Suggestion. Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer. It makes you sweat. When was the window changed?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
She takes a drag. Visual calculus. You should have another look at that window. After this, reconstruct the scene. It's right there. In her bedroom inside. Yes. You see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye. Conclude. She nods silently. She doesn't even smoke, just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. The lieutenant glances at you and then the door. Esprit de corps, he's thinking, are we done here? Volition. Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. Drama. No. That won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. Let's see. This, Volition, this guy won't budge. You just have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her. Drama. In God's name, wake up. Let's see. 3. 92% plus 3, manipulating your skill set. Plus 1, the love that did him in. Plus 1, lied about making the call. Plus 1, discussed secret route. Let's return to this later. Island Empire. As you look back, you think, so love did do him in after all. I was right. Island Empire. If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would have not connected with his soft palate. It killed him. Look at Classia. Turn to Classia. Looks like love did him in after all. What is communism in this? You don't know. A wind of needles, airships flutter in the stratosphere. She's silent, holding onto her coffee mug. No vapor rises from it. It's cold. Island Empire, remember this silence. The lady is dangerous. People suffer around her. Volition. It appears this one has not been entirely corrupted. This may help. This may help the others see. It killed him. Say nothing. Let her answer. How do I know all of this then?
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced and not real.
Why?
Easier that way.
She takes a sip. It killed him. No, communism killed him, remember. Love made it possible. You know this much. Was it real?
I don't know.
She looks down at the yard, then back into her coffee. There's a nod, the smallest of nods. How do I know all this? Who knows? It's getting cold out. You should go.
I was just thinking...
Quite heavy.
What a nice day for questions. Pertaining to a murder investigation.
Wake up. Drama. Who? What? Dear God. You've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not candid at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o'-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Volition, take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. Rhetoric. Yes, start at the top. Choose at the bottom. It's how we've done it. No rush. See... The Lieutenant. Why have we not arrested her yet? Devil woman. You know, I think you didn't make the call to the station. Your real name isn't Classia Amadur. What if I told you? You're under arrest, miss. Let's change the subject.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
No, she's not a flight risk or anything.
Okay.
I don't think. Okay, what?
Okay, it's not.
You admit to it. I knew it. Good, can you tell me the truth?
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
She's not lying now. She's really is very tired. Her metabolism is failing her. The afterglow of whatever narcotic she's been taking is wearing off. Was the passport bullshit too, that passport you keep hidden? Tell me your real name. Enough. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever's next. Pain threshold. Ready for the damage. She knows you're grilling her. I think you didn't make that call.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
Encyclopedia. That is the emergency's desk number. Drama. Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Anyone could know that number. Say nothing. It means nothing.
But I know the time of the call, too. I know I have not been 100% truthful with you, officers. But I am now.
Half-Light. Why is she so angry, then? If she's so sorry? I don't know, you didn't make the... I know you didn't make the call. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's change the subject. She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. Half-Light, you are. This is not the end of this. This is a visual calculus check. Do I have anything that... Oh yeah, I never put my hat back on, did I? Where is it? There we go. I've gone this entire time with -1 encyclopedia. What if it wanted to tell me about Contact Mike again? Let's see, there's a visual calculus. That's the only visual calculus thing I have. Visual calculus medium. What happened here? You've heard what happened. The golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman, on the single bed. What position are they in? Alright, well thank you for stopping by, Vio. Have a good night. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th, and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions, coverage, converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. Endurance, ending him. Where's it come from? From the roof outside. Location A, prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inward, like a corona behind the woman's back. Inspect the ghostly figures. Have a look at point A, the roof. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. Have a look at point A. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. Should there be gun residue outside? So, I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from? There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. So I'm what, 80% sure? 72%. With an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition, a Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance. But not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This could explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside, it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Could the shot have come from inside the room? Closer point. Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof? Could there have been another point of origin, further away? Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out. Detective. Are there any arguments against A prime? None. That you've found thus far. But that doesn't mean that there aren't any. Could there have been another point of origin? That's a 28% yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? Extrapolation the radius to include all of Martinez. According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime, more precisely. A B for boardwalk, B for Land's End, and B for islet, detective. Oh, okay. B1 for boardwalk, B2 for Land's End, B3 for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. Look at point B1, the boardwalk. 700 meters away. The likeliness of B position's 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. B, Land's End. B2, Land's End. 1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of this position, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper would have done it possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. And point B, the islet. 1 kilometer away, a point beyond the docks. On an islet in the bay, a fort is ruined. Though the perpetrator may have found a stable spot on the beaches surrounding. there's concrete crumbles into the sea. As you saw on the coin-operated viewer, the shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islet is questionable. Kim, do you think the shot could have come from further than the roof in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, the boardwalk. B double prime, Land's End. B triple prime, the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
It's okay. Much less than from the roof, but still. I'm just being thorough.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Leave.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to Clesia. Now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
He leans back and regards you with curiosity. Because she's your real leader. I'm going to level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads me to Lily's killer. Let's see. I have seen her in the Laudium-induced delirium. The paranormal instinct whispers her name into my ear. Look, I need to pin this on someone, and I decided to pin this on her. I suspect she killed the victim, that's why. She's a suspect in another case I'm investigating, a drug smuggling.
You're cuckoo, cop. I'm the only man responsible for this unit. Get with it, or fuck off.
Authority. How many times must I tell you?
Yeah, fuck off.
I'm going to level with you. She's the next link in the chain.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
He throws a glance at Titus at the last syllable, leaving his lips. The big guy sighs.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Logic. 92%. Present a solid theory about why Ruby could have done it. +1. Found key in the Union box. +1. Saw the winch outside. +1. Staged like a play. +1. Reconstructed the murder scene. +1. Found the antique rifle. And +3. Secret route found. I'm gonna save it, in case it doesn't work.
It's you again. What is it?
Success. A logic, a sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its eerie blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotions all channeled into a single thought. Why are you so sure Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the toilet. She didn't go to the bar for a drink. She didn't go out for a fresh air. For one smoke.
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
Logic. Of course, Ruby is the lady driver in the great big jam mystery. Probably. You'll have to keep investigating. They'll never open up about it.
Just 'cause she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
Logic. All right. We're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for. Sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now, let's place her on that roof. Suggestion. You got his attention. Now, don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up. You do agree that the shot came from the roof, right? A skilled Sambo artist could have climbed the outer wall like a spider. There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight to the roof. Have you noticed the winch out back? The one outer wall of the whirling?
How?
He looks sincerely curious. Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
A good one, Kim. From there, a door leads straight to the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
You do agree that the shot came from the roof, right? Skilled Sambo artist. Let's see. Have you noticed the winch out back? That one on the outer wall of the whirling? There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational. I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop. Guess what? Remember that key I found here? Point to the window.
Footprints. Recent.
Composure. He looks tough, but there's a nervous twitch in his dark green eye. This is all too close to home for him. Recent, yes. Recent nod, a week or two. Recent nod, but they didn't fit any of yours on the scene, Ruby included. There were prints there with horizontal lines.
Goes against your little theory, doesn't it? Then again, I've known few people in my life who own more than one pair of boots, and occasionally do change them. Good news is, I'm still listening.
That key I found.
I don't like guessing, Cobb. No one does.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did, and that's how she got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old, faded. It'd have been there for 20 years at least.
She could have made a copy. She could have just put it back there when she was done. Yeah, maybe I was jumping to conclusions.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
In logic, it doesn't fit well, but it fits, and he knows it. There were pinball machines in the workshop, still operational.
Right. What the fuck does that got to do with Ruby?
Nothing, I just thought we could bring some down to get some new machines in here. What if they're somehow connected to the murder, a pinball murder? Just making an observation.
Wow, man, can we? I mean...
That'd be awesome. I beat that royalist machine 20 times now.
All right. We can get the barman to bring them down. What else?
You notice the winch out back?
I've seen the winch. I'm not blind. You saying it's part of the elevator she used to get up there?
That's right.
That's one mystery down then. An architectural mystery. Doesn't much concern Ruby, does it?
You do agree that the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Clausia's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance that the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
I analyzed it on the spot. Turns out I can do that. Let's see. Yes, big lab, back in Jamrock. The Jamrock Ballistics Lab.
No, you can't. I know what you did here on the weekend. People talk. What they say doesn't sound like a science cob. You're a madman.
Those numbers were an ass pull, man.
Yeah, and they don't put hair on the roof either. It's just mambo jambo. He hasn't got shit.
Have we firmly established Ruby could have had access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Logic, Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt in the shape of a gun. Rhetoric. Just don't contradict yourself. If it doesn't sound like Ruby did it, maybe keep it to yourself. Guys, this is Revachol. Anyone could get a gun around here, anyone. I've analyzed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed. There's a small 28% chance the shot came from beyond the roof. Show them the antique rifle. There are weapons like this just laying around Martinez. The local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her.
So...
The man shrugs and looks at you.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby get it?
Just because it's rare doesn't mean you can't get it. I'm just being upfront with what I know. You're right, I never solved... I never solving this case, it's too complicated.
Right. That's mighty forthcoming of you. So, let me extend you the same courtesy. She's connected to you know what.
Rhetoric, organized crime, down in Jamrock probably. He's not being too forthcoming. This is not a surprise.
So she may have access to semi-automatics, but that's a long fucking stretch of the imagination.
From the antique rifle, there are these weapons just laying around Martinez.
That looks antique. A Velma grave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there, with others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
That's a goddamn breech loader, too. Find one that works, and you got a military-grade weapon that shoots jacketed ammunition.
He shakes his head. Logic. He sees it. This is coming together. He must. Visual calculus. Time to really close the deal. Show them the bullet. Hold out the bullet. This is the bullet that did it. 4.46 millimeter. The Velma grave uses the same caliber. The blonde man looks at the mushroomed Deathbringer in the evidence bag and says,
Yeah, the bitch is jacketed all right. 4 millimeter, too.
Whoa.
Well, goddamn. It's not proof, but it's a possible murder weapon. Close to her. Too damn close. You have been thorough. I'll give you that.
there is a small 28% chance that the shot came from beyond the roof.
Yes, goddammit, I know what a 72% chance means. It means there's a 28% chance it isn't that. And 28% is no small chance either.
Just making sure we are on the same page. It doesn't all fit. We are just sharing info, candidly.
I didn't say I'd prove she had the murder weapon. Just that we'd need to find her.
All right. Keep talking. I'm getting a bit curious about some things myself.
T, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Logic. Phase 3. Motive. The last component. Suggestion. The big one. Get this, and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works. It's not why did she kill him. It's why did she organize the cover-up. Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge against you, Titus.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Claudia wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Logic. Time for a logics demonstration. Eugene, let's assume you killed him. Jackie, let's assume you killed him. Titus, let's assume you killed him. He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friend? as part of a lynch mob or alone for committing murder. The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardy Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Logic. Oh. So he didn't rule her out completely, and she skipped town. This is good. Maybe it's all part of a leadership challenge, Titus. You have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her. Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods. Perception, sight. A very small nod. And a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip. Authority. This is the only option he cares for.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about ever since you asked me where she is. Add it to your list of suspicions, if you want. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior. Why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When did she leave? What was she scared of? Do you know, or do you have any clues on where Ruby went? Have you looked for her?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived, I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me? As in the RCM?
No, you.
Oh.
As in the cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
Island Empire, and a hole in his heart. That first. And a hole in his heart. No wonder she's afraid. I've come to declare the ending of the human experiment. I'm sorry, God. Why does everything flee at the sight of my shadow? I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head.
Why not? You suck on that gun like someone tore you a brand new asshole.
I'm just a normal cop.
Sure. Normal.
He says without smiling.
You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up, like cans.
Interfacing. And then, when they're all empty, just move on. Onto the next can. Don't look back, unless there was something you missed.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
The man shakes his head.
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Authority. It's not an actual question. Silence. He nods. Is that true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
He nods.
Yeah,
Anything else?
there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This caught Titus. This caught heat. But she was too scared.
Half-Light. Scared. You should be too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth. Change the subject. Do you have any clues where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al, and we won't either.
She's not really a hardy candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlock. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure, there's some shit houses there. A cinderblock town. The fisherfolk there refuse to unionize, so that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a lorry man.
It's not much, but it'll do. Go.
It'll have to.
He puts his hand out. Shake it. Walk away. I'll shake his hand. His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of upholstered granite. Oh, unpolished granite. Okay, let's see. Esprit de corps. Not just granite. Tightly packed RCM Sergeant material. You should be a cop, Titus. Just think it. No, he already is a sergeant. That's what you're feeling. He just wasn't sure what you are. There it is. Okay, well, I have work early in the morning, so I'm going to have to call it a bit early today. It's a good place to leave it off on and continue tomorrow. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching, and have a good night.